What is going down? What's good? Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm Mike Russell, your host, and I think we're going to go. I think we've made the decision. Mike Russell's America was up there, but it sounded very Mark Levin. Yeah, it sounded a little too much too Hannity-y for me. So I'm just going to go ahead and we're just going to I think in other news. In other news is where we're going to go with the logo will be Ion, with a little ion thingamajigger. And that's where I think we're going to stick with. In other news, we're going to do our darndest to stay away from talking about the same garbage everyone else is talking about. But we will. I mean, there are big topics that we need to cover. Like today, we will be talking about the creative editing of mass media and the Harris campaign. The mass media editing to fool you and me and we the people is absolutely unacceptable and something that they should be called out on. Chris Ronda, absolutely. Long time no see. It's been, what has it been? How many days? Been a half hour? Okay, half hour. But I had to get a little something to eat, got to change the logo back here. Got to work it out. You know how it works. It works out. Ciao. Mm-hmm. If you ever have an opportunity to watch Eddie Izzard Dressed to Kill, it's one of the best stand-ups I've seen. It's older, and he's in drag, but he's one of the best comedians I've ever seen. And he said that's the way he pictured going to France. Everybody's rolling around on scooters going, ciao. That's how it is. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ion, I appreciate that, Jim. I like Ion. Yes. I need new themes. I need a new theme song. What kind of theme song was it? What theme song is playing? I have no idea. Grizz, if you've seen Dressed to Kill, it's absolutely fantastic. Ron episode is hilarious. It is. I'm from Europe, where history comes from. Then you just know from there. It's our kind of humor. It definitely is our kind of humor. He is uber talented. His last stand-up that he did was almost difficult to watch because he's kind of made the whole transition to I dress as a woman all the time. And he is not a good-looking woman. Not a good-looking woman at all. Nope, not one little tiny bit. As a matter of fact, let's start with that, shall we? Let's start with the LGBTQIA trans movement and the female boxer. Excuse me, the biological male boxer that won gold in the Olympics is not going to go away anytime soon. This male, identifying as a female, is trying to become, in my eyes, and what I'm seeing right now, very wealthy doing this and being the face of, the face of destruction of Title IX, the face of biological males beating the faces in. I meant to say that of biological females. The face of a sport where women will tap out because they're not going to go to the first time they get rocked by a biological male. They just back down like happened 46 seconds in, I think, was where the one of the boxers tapped out. This has been a absolute nightmare for all of us that champion Title IX through our lives. From somebody like me, who at Apollo High School, go Hawks, at Apollo High School was one of only 5-6 people that went to every one of my sister's basketball games. Went to all of her softball games. My sister and I are best pals. I showed up, and that, as a matter of fact, I started doing the PA announcing for him. And I love the fact that my daughters, my niece, anybody, nieces, anybody, has the same opportunity in school to play the same sports that I get to play, and that my son gets to play, and that my nephew gets to play. And I champion that, and all of us have. And now we see bozos like this, who they say it is a condition that she was born with, that she just happened to have a Y chromosome, is absolutely absurd. Yeah. Take a chance on me. I thought Take a Chance on Me was ABBA. Take a chance on me. No. Nope. I still have the sing jar. Don't you worry about that. I transfer that over. Rob gave up all rights to all the money in the sing jar. Absolutely gave this. Algeria, where it is illegal. Yes, absolutely. I don't understand either. And this is Deanna bringing up a fantastic point here. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, ABBA. Thanks, Grizz. You got popped up there by accident. Algeria, where it's illegal to be LGBTQ. I don't think they would send a representative to the Olympics that was trans. Here's the deal, Deanna. This person has XY. They did a gender test on this person. I believe the Taipei boxer that went they got silver. They did gender tests. Both male. And Grizz, you're young, you get over it. But they were both male. But they meet the IOC requirements to compete against biological females. They meet the requirements, whatever the hell that is, by a woke IOC. And so basically what this entire Paris Olympics told us, except for our decompression session at the end of the show today, is fantastic. If you put the right music and sound effects to something, it's just hilarious. I did not know that canoe cross was a sport. Wait till decompression session. We're going to have some fun. So this is the newest advancement in this. She is now suing. I'm going to say she, whatever, dude, fine. The biological male. She is suing. Ready for this? Elon Musk and J.K. Rowling. Okay, I understand all of the Harry Potter series didn't hit, like all of them didn't hit. There was a miss in there, but I don't think she should be sued. Check this out. Okay, now if you guys don't mind, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this just for the podcast sake, so people can hear it on the podcast and understand what this Algerian is saying. I'm going to read it along with the video. Okay, all right. As to the question of whether I qualify or not, whether I am a woman or not, I have made many statements to the press, to the media, saying that I fully qualify to take part in this competition. Okay, that still doesn't mean that you are a biological female. I'm sorry, y'all, because she met the requirement. She said, I have announced it to the media. Well, kick rocks. I've seen your DNA results. You're a dude. I'm sorry. Yeah. Listen, here we go. All right. I am a woman like any other woman. I was born a woman. No, I have lived as a woman. Okay, fine, cool. There's no doubt about that. She says there are enemies of success. That's what she claims. Elon Musk and J.K. Rowling are enemies of success. If you have successfully masqueraded as a female and you go beat up females for a living, I guess that's your success. Yeah. And that's all I call them. They're just enemies of success. And just gives my gold medal an extra special taste. Insert all jokes here. This is absurd. This is a lawsuit that is coming on to, and I have to find what it is. It is it's a weird thing that she's claiming. But it's something to the effect of some sort of online agitators. All this was that Elon Musk and J.K. Rowling were both against this biological XY chromosome having human beings. Say what you will. Competing against XX chromosome having individuals. That's what they were against that. And so now a lawsuit, because that hurts this person's feelings, is what is going to ensue. And that's why this is interesting to keep an eye on what's going on in the UK right now with the thought police and the online, the social media police, where if you say things that hurt someone else's feelings or might get someone to get mad and violent, you can be arrested. So now these jabronis, these slappies, think that they can sit in another land and their laws are going to dictate what my laws are. I'm sorry. No. As a matter of fact, if we want to get together as a collective leadership of the globe, which they do, they do annually. But if we want to talk about, do your laws apply to me? If we're dealing with the World Wide Web, is there international law on the World Wide Web? I say no, there is not. And if I say, like I'm saying right now, on 4 platforms, I'm saying on 4 platforms right now that this is a biological male, XY. I have seen the gender results. Biological male. Don't care if it might be, got both parts. There's a very famous WNBA player that has that affliction. Okay. But went to play female sports and everything checked. I don't know. I just don't know. And by the way, she's not as dominant as she thought she'd be. But this is we are talking about a punching sport. And if we learned yesterday from that beautiful professor from Portland State saying there just is, on average, more muscle mass in an XY than in an XX, and there is more height in an XY than an XX on average. And to deny those or to deny basic biology. Remember, we were told for so many years, trust the science, trust the science. Well, what science are you talking about? The science that we learned in school? Or are you talking about the science that we're just making up now? It does not do this XY. This is all I'm going to call it. This XY, results prove that, is doing so much damage for the entire LGBTQ community and taking it, the narcissism that, by the way, the narcissism that a biological male will go fight biological females, this narcissism at its greatest, but the narcissism now to take this to a new level, to make people like us that would say, okay, let's really dig in and find out what's going on here, because there's a lot here. There's a lot more than meets the eye, maybe. Okay. The Transformer reference fits perfectly here. Go ahead. But there's more than meets the eye. So, but then we hear all the haters out there and the enemies of success, and I'm taking on these big names and I'm going to file a lawsuit. Makes me not want to even dig into your cause. I don't want to know what you have going on. You're not winning hearts and minds. You're doing the exact opposite. And I got to tell you this. If Donald Trump really wants to run a campaign like he should be running, and he's not at this point, he should stay on this Title IX. Stay on Title IX. Mom, dad, all this money you're putting into club sports for your daughter, all this money you're putting into club swimming, their Olympic hopefuls, all of this passion and support that you're putting into your daughter, because of this administration, is now in jeopardy of getting blown out of scholarship opportunities, record opportunities, just success. Talk about enemies of success. Enemies of success are this current administration for girls by stripping Title IX and saying that you don't meet, there's no hormone requirements. There's nothing for this. Now it's just if you identify, you can play. It's absolutely absurd. Oh. Okay, so Griswold talk about, we're going back to the Johnny Carson days. The difference between men and women and bodybuilding, the difference in fat and muscle. Yes, because that back then you can talk like there wasn't this, I'm going to be different today. And I'm going to back up to this a little bit. Today Jim feels poor, so everybody send him money. I'm identifying as a unhoused person, please. Somebody help me out. Yeah. I tried that 100 times. I identify as a senior. I want the discount. Are you military? I identify as. I've never done that one, but I mean, you can't. Why not? I can identify as a different gender. I can identify as a cat now if I want to. Ugh. At least a dog has some fun. But let me back this up a little bit, and I firmly believe this. I want to help me out. Come along with me on this one, please. It doesn't mean you have to agree. Just please play along in the comments. I believe that we have spent so much time as a society removing exceptionalism, removing the feeling of winning and success with the everybody gets a trophy crowd. It's okay. You tried your best and that's all that matters kind of thing. You cannot be a winner. Essentially, in these last two generations, you cannot be a winner. You're not allowed to be, because it's going to hurt someone else's feelings if we have a valedictorian. Again, in my ex sisters-in-law, they're the twins. Their graduation, there was 99 valedictorians, or 91. There's over 90 valedictorians. There's over 90. So no one is allowed to be exceptional until this giant spectrum of different came along and was presented to two young generations of undeveloped brains. I'm saying it's stupid. Your brain doesn't fully develop till you're in your mid-20s. So you get these underdeveloped brains said, you can be special if you place yourself on this spectrum somewhere. And that's where we shot up from maybe 2% of our entire society, and that's being generous. identifying something other than they're not, to something like 1 in 5, up to 20%. It's because these kids said, I can be special now. I can get something for this just by identifying it. How can they tell me I can't identify? I can identify. Yeah. It's absolutely absurd. But what do you think of that? I think that there has to be something there as a dad raising these kids that felt guilty every time I told my kid, it's okay, you did great, when he sucked. But I wasn't going to do. I was going to be that. I mean, I could be turned in for that now. Telling you, do you suck today? I mean, my kids, I did tell them they suck all the time. I did. Intern Beans, Intern News back me on this. I have talked so much trash to them so they have thicker skin. And they knew what I was doing. And they knew everything I said I was kidding. And they knew that. The one thing they knew I wasn't kidding on, when I was ticked at them. Both of my, turn me in if you want to. Both of my kids would grab the back of their head like this. They knew I was going to just give them a little pop right in the back of the head every time I needed to. I didn't beat my kids. I didn't spank my kids, but I popped them in the back of the head every time they needed to course correct. For sure. All right. But anyway, this is, I love it. I can't wait to hear J.K. Rowling's response to this, because J.K. is just savage when it comes to this topic. She is a savage. How can you take out J.K. Rowling? She knows she's uncancelable. Cancelable? Someone help me with that. She knows she can't be canceled. Coffee might fix that. I promise it's coffee. So, yeah, she knows she's untouchable. She's the wealthiest woman in Europe. She is the most successful author in history. She's top 3. And I think the Bible's beats her above that. But you know what I'm saying. And so she's play. Now, Elon owns essentially a third of the media in the world. Elon, you can't take Elon now. So good luck to this little slappy that decided to go in and beat up girls. And it's a bad look. It's a terrible look. Oh, great. We're going to litigate our ideology and law in a different country. We're going to, from Algeria, we're going to say, you can't do that in Algeria. We're going to arrest. What did UK try to say that they were going to start extraditing Americans that talk trash online, that say hurtful things online? Can I be first? Let's go. We've been waiting for just such an occasion. Good luck with that. I disagree with you. Yes, disagree with me. Grizz disagrees with me. He's going to cancel. All right, fine. You won't be here tomorrow, though, so he'll be out. Rob does have an event tomorrow if you guys want to check it out in Cahoots. He's doing a communication hour-long session and lunch if you guys want to go check that out. Okay, let's see. So Grizz coached the b-ball, huh? A little round ball. I like this. Coach kids in basketball, it was the same way. Basically never told them they did better than what they did. That's right. If they played bad, I told them. I coached basketball for, it was kind of an assistant coach thing, and our coach was flaky as hell. And we had this kid that thought he could shoot from anywhere on the floor. And his grandparents and his grandfather and his father were always in the stands, and they're always encouraging him just to launch the ball. And this guy he couldn't hit as my dad would say, he couldn't hit his ass with both hands in a map. So this guy, he's terrible. So I told him, you shoot from that distance again, I'm pulling you out of the game. Pop. First thing I hear his grandfather, shoot it. And he does. He launched it. Called timeout, pulled him out of the game. Those two came at me like I just beat their kid. And I told them plainly. I told the kid not to do it, and he did it. And I said, the next time you do it, you're coming out of the game. And the first time he touched the ball, he did it. He's pulled out of the game. And they just stared at me as if I was supposed to say something or push them, or they were going to push me. It was just a stare down. And I was like, parents have lost their bleeping minds. I mean, kids have just made their parents dumb. Yes. I know you'll be there, Chris. That's why I was saying. Yes, that's why I was saying that. I'm excited to get a report back. I will not be, because I have something going on. This show, I'm telling you that. Yes. Yeah. But anyway, I think that because we did all of that as Gen X, and we did, it's Gen X's fault. 100% it's our fault. But we put them in a situation, we put these kids in a situation where they can only feel special if they do certain things. And one of those is identify as something. And they can show up in the dumbest one of them all. The dumbest one of those. That's why I think as agnostics drive me nuts. If you want to believe in a religion, believe in a religion. If you don't. Agnostic means I don't know. This is exactly what agnostic means. I don't know. So there's an I don't know on the spectrum of LGBTQ. It's non-binary. So I'm just non-binary. Oh. That's the easiest one. You can't get punked for it. You can't get you're not putting yourself out there, but you get all the special treatment there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't blame the really? All right. Never raised myself. I understand that, but Rhonda, I also didn't vote for the current man in the White House, by the way, but it is what it is. We the people voted. Okay, hold on. That's a terrible example. Okay. Let me think of something else. Yeah, okay. I didn't vote for Mark Kelly, but there he was. So how about that? And I didn't raise my kids that way either. But a society has. And maybe a media apparatus or whatever it is, but it is our kids that are turning this way. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think it's our kids. Yeah. Dumbass parents make dumbass kids. And I get it. I get it. There's some ways where I look at my two kids and I'm like, are you look at these kids. Look at these babies. Look at these beauties. I'm like, how did they come out so good? How are they so damn smart? This is amazing. Beans has 2 degrees already, and she's going to wrap up the next one in about a semester and a half. Like, damn, 2 semesters. 3 semesters, what a semester and a half. A semester and a half, 3 semesters. So a year and a half, so I'm saying. Yeah, so, I mean, how the hell did that happen? So, anyway, I give credit to. I do give credit. Anyway, that just sends back this whole entire idea. Thanks for hanging out with me. Yesterday, we talked about kind of the go woke, go broke model, and it's interesting to me that Bud Light wasn't a good enough lesson for 2 major American brands. The Bud Light Trans Can debacle. Now, by the way, and understand this of the Trans Can, only 2 6-packs were made with Dylan Mulvaney on the can. I think only 2. She has one, or he has one, and I don't know where the other one is. Probably hidden in a vault somewhere. That's it. They weren't distributed. They didn't end up in Circle K. They didn't end up in Fry's. They were just sent out for a social media campaign. And the backlash was, I love the backlash because A, that was stupid. B, the marketing director was a moron. And C, that's the way we should protest. Protest with our wallets, right? It's Chris says most expensive 6-pack ever. You don't even know the beginning, but I think they laid off 300 people. Anheuser-Busch did. Mm-hmm. There is 2 new brands that are basically outed right now. And that is John Deere, which John Deere I don't really have because we're dealing with very, very expensive tractors and farm equipment. I don't know. I don't see a lot of people wearing John Deere gear. But John Deere, I don't know what the backlash is going to be, but I already know what Harley is. This is Harley. Sturgis is the biggest motorcycle event there is. Sturgis is it. So if you're a company like Harley Davidson has to have a huge presence at Sturgis. So they have this exhibit that is just thousands of square feet. They have entire staff and all of that. You want to see Sturgis right now? Because they went woke? Check this noise out.
Guys, I wanted to give you a look under the Harley Davidson tent. A lot of people have been asking me, is there really a Harley boycott going on in Sturgis?
Empty.
Well, we wanted to come
There's a dude on a bike there checking it out because he didn't get the memo.
Showed you the Budweiser tent, and unfortunately, it looks like for the motor company this year,
that's the Sturgis Harley Davidson booth.
Participation is way down under the Harley tent. As for the reason for this boycott, Harley accused of going quote-unquote woke by some. Because of that, not many have entered this booth, at least not today, here in Sturgis, South Dakota at the 84th annual rally. Let me know your thoughts down below. Cycle Drag will continue to monitor this situation.
That's sad.
For you. Keep it locked.
That's sad, y'all. And here's the deal. So why would we do that? And that's funny. John Deere says, thank you, Brendan. I appreciate this, buddy. John Deere had antlers surgically removed from their logo and now be identifying as John Doe. You are a legend, my man. That is awesome. Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, Indian motorcycles definitely doing it. Absolutely. And people and now calling it absolutely. People are going to start buying Kawasaki's now. People are going to start buying But it's, again, that's the way we should protest as a We the People. That's exactly appropriate to me. Like, if I want to buy a motorcycle, which I don't, y'all, please understand this about me. If nothing else, I know my limits. And my limit is, if I got onto one of those big bikes, I would lay it down like that. I would lay it down like that. Years and years and years ago, my former brother-in-law was roommates with a professional street bike racer. Like, these are the things where they lay them down, and I mean, these things just faster than hell. Left his bike over at my ex-brother-in-law's house and said, "Can you watch this while I go up to Flagstaff for the weekend?" And the, excuse me, dumbass left the keys. So what did I do when I got there? Man, I pushed that thing right out to the street. Very long street, long residential street. I had it 85 in first gear, and I thought, if I pop this thing into second, I'm going to die. So if I got on one of these Harleys, these big bikes, I would lay it down in a heartbeat. I know my limits. So I would love to have one. They seem like a lot of fun. Seems pretty cool. But I also don't want to die. Didn't want to die at all. Yeah. Vulcan. Oh, Phoenix Valley Vulcan Riders, chapters 1 through 4. All right. Okay. That's pretty dang cool. Yeah. Indian is benefiting. Yeah. I think the others are going to definitely do this. But listen why. I actually have the reason why. This is the CEO, y'all. This is the CEO of Harley Davidson, an American company. This is the CEO.
To do some commercials for us, and the slogan was "United We Ride." And we launched it just as we started to manufacture again. And that was sort of our comeback as a company into the world, opening our factories again and bringing everybody as diverse as we could possibly be as a business and a brand, and celebrate diversity and inclusion. And that's one of the reasons why I took the job, is because I believe in an incredible American icon, and the transformation and the opportunity to contribute positively to a very divisive society. I believe that.
What contribute? Here's what you do: you're crushing an American brand by going off brand. It's like me having somebody from Air America or somebody from NPR on as a co-host. That's not my brand. And it's almost like they've forgotten, because in this attitude of woke, that they've forgotten to dance with the one that brought them. And the Harley riders in general at large are not DEI supporters. And there's a lot of black and brown Harley Davidson riders, but they understand that's not the brand. Nobody's offended by it. I rarely, if you want to be offended by anything with Harley Davidson, be offended by the price. I mean, seriously, it is a luxury American brand. It is. Yes. Holy mackerel. But now you see why. Because they've been outed for this. And it's important that they're outed for this. Because this is, again, if you go that far off brand, you're absolutely losing it. And that's it, Rhonda. They didn't learn. This was surprising with Harley Davidson and John Deere. If I were those boards of directors and I saw what was happening with Bud Light, I would immediately get into the next board meeting and say, we need to ditch our CEO. I'm sorry. You guys gone. He's taking this in a place that's going to go exactly like Bud Light, and we're going to end up looking like they look in Sturgis right now. So there shouldn't be any color in Harley. And that's the thing. Shouldn't be color in anything. We politicize and make everything about race and gender and ideology and in sexual orientation, and should be none of that. Just hey, these are cool bikes. Everybody likes them. The guy is just how it goes. And then there's you see all those on the weekends. You see Hell's Accountants running down the road, doing their thing. They're not about DEI, tell you that much. But yes, and this too. Check this out. So one of the things that I thought was funny from the Harris Walls campaign, this is from their site directly. And the reason why I know this is I saw this on the Realtree X feed. Realtree is a camouflage. Realtree XP, I think, is one of the best around. Realtree AP, I'm sorry, is one of the best around for me for desert. I love it. But Realtree is a camo brand. So, of course, here we go. Yep. That is part of the Harris Walls campaign. Is the Realtree? I think that's Realtree breakup. The Realtree breakup camo hat for Harris and Walls. Realtree immediately sent the cease and desist. Everyone that is sponsored in the outdoor world by Realtree just jumped all over this. It was like, this dog don't hunt. There's no way we're wearing this, number one. And number two, there's no way that Realtree is endorsing a Harris Walls campaign. Just because Tim Walls hunts does not mean that there should be, I'll say it, socialist camo hats. Sorry. Are you bleeping kidding me? This man put tampons in boys' bathrooms. Don't even give me this. Hunters are going to wear this. They're going to lack their camo. Yeah, they'll do it if they're paid like everyone else in your organization. Yes. Do you remember the Utah controversy with Dylan Mulvaney? Yeah. Yeah, yes. I'm sorry. Let's get here. What Rhonda was saying. Yeah. Okay. And that's the wonderful part of it. The wonderful part of it is that that's the correct way to boycott. But I wanted to bring this up because I don't want anybody boycotting Realtree. Realtree didn't do this. But Realtree did not say, "Oh, here we are. We're coming out as a Harris supporter." They didn't do this. And Rhonda, you say you don't shop at Ulta anymore. Fantastic. The people that still don't drink Bud Light, fantastic. People aren't going to drive Harleys anymore. Won't buy a John Deere. Won't wear. I've been looking for a cool John Deere hat for a hot minute until I saw this, so I'm not going to buy one. Okay, that's how we should protest in the United States. Yeah, where people go to DEI. Nicely done, Lynn. Look at Lynn coming with even in the all caps. I love that. Harley Davidson, where people go to DEI. Dang, bro, that's solid. Well done on that one. Yeah. Yeah, but there is a shadiness that makes an easy transition here. There is a shadiness that's going on in the DNC right now, a shadiness that is just, it's actually upsetting because I do love a good fair play. I love a good fight. Love it. I love boxing. I love UFC. And if it's a fair fight, a good fight that just goes all the way to the distance, I love it. And I would have no problem with, I do believe that our nation cannot handle another 4 years of this administration. So I do know which way I'd like the election to go, but I want it to go to the bell. I do. I want it to go all the way. Let's make it happen. And in the shadiness though, Rhonda, the shadiness that you're referring to, and I'll use this, forget about that. I mean, thinking that hunters are going to actually wear that kind of garbage is not right. But check this out. This is the latest. This is the latest headline. I like that headline skews. Thank you, New York Post, for doing that. Harris team is editing news headlines in her favor without the outlet's knowledge. Okay, this is a very, very big deal. Because as you understand, and I think the Harris administration understands this as well, the Harris campaign understands this as well, that we are a nation of headline readers. We are. We read headlines. Let's see what we'll call him before we move on. See what we call him before it goes here. It says, all right, Harley's Facebook page saw some people wanting to trade in their Harleys for an Indian. Yep, man, I'm telling you, go woke, go broke. So what the Harris campaign is doing is taking like an AP headline, right? They'll take an AP headline, they'll take a CNN headline, and they will place an ad with a link to that headline, but they will to that article, but they will change the headline to make it positive pro Kamala, and they will keep the NPR, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, whatever logo on it as if it came from their site. That is absolutely illegal on every way. They're claiming that they did this. Now, you know who busted them on this? This is what I absolutely love. Do you know who busted them on this? Was Axios. Axios came with it. And if Axios hates you as a Democrat, just quit. Because Axios will not let go. Axios hates everything Republican, and now they're starting to come after Dems, so you know how bad it is. Harris campaign's Google ads rewrite news headlines. And it's obnoxious here. So I'll read a few of these. Inflation is down from Reuters. Reuters did not have a headline saying inflation is down. They did not say that at all. Tim Walz, tap for BP. Harris picks Tim Walz. Tim Walz now saving democracy. And all this bunch of nonsense. All right. So according to Google's Ad Transparency Center, the Trump campaign isn't running these types of ads. How about that? But this technique has been used in campaigns before. Again, Axios is that way. Axios will defend Democrats to the nth degree, even if they are pulling some shady stuff. The ads say that they were sponsored, but it's not immediately clear that the text accompanies the real news links is written by the campaign and not the media publication itself. This is what Google said. While we understand an organization might wish to align itself with a trusted brand, we need to ensure that it is being used appropriately with our permission. This is The Guardian when they did the pro Kamala headline. While we understand why an organization might wish to align itself with the Guardian's trusted brand, we need to ensure that it is being used appropriately and with our permission. We'll be reaching out to Google for more information about this practice. Spokespeople for brands of CNN, USA Today, and NPR, whose links appeared in the Harris presidential ads, say they were unaware that the brand was being used and featured this way. Google said they're looking into it. They're going to be looking into it very strongly. Here, it's absolutely. That's fraud, Brendan. It is exactly what it is. And when you look at this whole campaign in its entirety, how surprising is this to anyone? But how surprising is it? It's disgusting that they're getting away with it. But how surprising is it that an organization like the DNC took a candidate that you can, as Bill Maher said, you can count all of the delegates that she won on one hand if your hand has no fingers. They planted her. They kicked Joe out. They made him run the entire gauntlet of the primary, kicked him out, told all of the primary voters in the Democrat Party to boom, pound sand, and we're going to put this one in, and then use CGI to make the crowds look bigger, which he was having solid crowds. They really didn't need to do that, but they did. They're guarding her. I think we're on day 21 or 22. That she has not sat down for an interview, and she will not. Newsweek and CNN have all requested nothing, absolutely nothing. Tim Walz is locked down, everything. Why would it be surprising that they're pulling shadiness like this? It's not. It's not. And interesting to me. Okay, let's see. Brendan here worked in web advertising. Here we go. All right, web-based advertising. You can get away with a lot of, using the word sponsored. Yeah, I bet you can. I bet you can get away with a lot of that stuff. Hit me up. See if we can get away with some stuff. I'm not opposed to doing shady if shady's going to be done to me. I'm kidding. But Colin Wright, it sounds like it's 1984. This is just absolutely absurd. They're rewriting headlines. They are under the guise of an advertisement. On top of that, they're coming in with a candidate that no one, not one person, not one Democrat voter voted for this year. Not one. In the entire primary, no one voted for Kamala Harris because she wasn't running until it was over, and then she was placed there. It's disgusting. And then all of a sudden, these slappies like Ben Stiller, I'm going to throw $150,000 into her campaign. Why? For what? Because you see the nation suffering for the last 3 years and you want to see the nation suffer more? Who are these people? Literally, who are these people? To think about what we have had to endure over the last 3.5 years, and to think that we can do this again for another 4. Again, I believe in the American people. We, the people, are our nation. Our nation is run like a bunch of jackasses. But I'll tell you this, we, the people, are strong, talented, driven, and we can survive it, I think, but damn, why? Why? As a dad, I've seen rents go up over 35 to 40%, and my daughter's going to have to move into an apartment getting out of college or move back in with dad, which I'm totally cool with, Beans, or move back in with dad because another 3 years of this means another 40, 50% increase in rents. The trajectory's there. It's there. So in another, how about another 8, 9, 10 million migrants coming through the border? Sure, why not? I don't understand the logic of I hate this orange man so much that I have to vote for another 3 years of absolute pain, 4 years of absolute pain. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. The symbol of the DNC is the jackass. That is very true. Yes. But if they can use, exactly like I've said for several years, Biden is a useful idiot. They knew it. And that's why Biden stayed in the race so long and didn't get out. And Nancy had to threaten him with the 25th was because he hates the elites. He thought that once he was president, he was going to be part of the club. And he wasn't part of the club. They still laughed at him. They still mocked him, just like they did when he was senator, like when he was vice president. He was a useful idiot. And then they used him ultimately in the role of president and got a lot. You think about the basically the socialist nonsense that the Democrat Party is espousing now. They got a lot of that through. A lot. And by the way, if anybody says this, I saw somebody crying about the Department of Education, how Trump wants to get rid of the Department of Education. That does not do away with public education in this country. It just gives it back to the states. God, people study civics for once. Holy cow. Okay. This Rhonda, thank you. I can't put any better. Son wants to own his own place, but the economy is prohibiting that dream. Yeah. It's gone. It's done. And you know who owns that dream now? BlackRock. BlackRock owns the dream. Period. Orange is the new democracy. Lynn, you are on a roll today, my man. It's done. BlackRock owns it all. You see, I saw, so sad. If you're near, let's see, that'd be north of 10 on the 101, right before Westgate, between the 101 and Westgate. If you look to the west side of the freeway, you'll see those developments, those BlackRock developments, which are actual houses. They're detached homes, but they're all rentals. And it looks like something out of Edward Scissorhands or Russia. Like it's all the same uniform. Nothing is, I mean, everything is just this. It's just, that's the goal of things. So when you saw all of those during the pandemic, you sell your house, cash. Cash offer. I'm going to give you a cash offer. I'm going to give you a cash offer. That's BlackRock right behind them. That's the investor. Those are the people. It wasn't this company, the really creepy dude, you know, the really skinny guy. Guys, help me out with that. Is that 21 Sold? Which one is that? With the really creepy guy that moves his hands all weird like this. Yeah, that's not his money. It's not his people's money. It's BlackRock's money. That's what it is. And you know what is just finally making headlines that is absolutely blowing me away that it's just making headlines now is what BlackRock bought in 2020 that we just kind of said, yeah, didn't make a bunch of headlines. They bought Ancestry.com. BlackRock, which basically bought every house on the market during the pandemic and is now turning them all into rentals. You're never going to own those homes again. As a matter of fact, my buddy sold his home out in Buckeye. He had a property out there, and he sold it because it was top of the market, and he was going to buy his house in Boulder or pay off his house in Boulder because the money was there because he bought the thing for like $91,000. And he sold it, and he said, this house will never be owned again. This house will be a rental forever. BlackRock bought my house. And so when that happened, then in 2020, they bought Ancestry.com. You're like, what in the hell? How is this possible? How can one company have that, literally that much power? That is Google size knowledge. That you own every piece of real estate in the world, in the nation, and now you have everyone's DNA. The cool thing is about the Ancestry.com and all that, even my girlfriend's trying to get me to do it. I won't do it. It has nothing to do with data collection. Really has nothing to do, but now I'm looking back on it going, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I always made this excuse because I just thought it was creepy. I made the excuse that I was told that I'm German, Scotch, Irish. And that explains my temperament and my drinking. So I just stuck with it. I'm not going to take a test to tell me I'm something else, like I'm French or something like that. No, I'm German, Scotch, Irish. Of the Von Heddicks. That's right. And I'm sorry, in German, you have to yell things. So of the Von Heddicks. But surprisingly, during World War II, great grandma and great grandpa ditched that whole Von portion of their name, and there's just become Heddick and owned Heddick Hardware in Apple Valley, California. So if you're ever in the neighborhood, that was grandma and grandpa's old shop. That's right. And that's why I keep telling everybody, people are always, oh, you left iHeart and Rob left. Are you going to go get a real job? Is what I love to hear. And I'm like, look, I'm 4th, 5th generation entrepreneur. I'm not, ain't doing that. Why are they allowed to buy up everything? Because no one will stop them. They have the money. Rhonda is a great question. She said, why is that? 72 sold. Thank you. I appreciate that, Chris. So 72 sold. 23andMe is, so same thing, ancestry.com. Why are they allowed to buy everything up? Let me tell you why they're allowed to buy everything up. Thank you, Greg Haig. Yes. All right. So here's the deal. They're allowed to buy it up because they buy politicians. There's no other way to put that. That's not a conspiracy theory. I have that from the horse's mouth. They say, you don't allow us to run our business, we will primary you. We have a candidate who no one knows, but trust me, everyone in your district, literally everyone, will know because we'll give them the financial backing and they will crush you. You're not even going to make it to the general election. Basically, we're going to get you fired if you don't allow us to do this. Same question is, why are we allowing Chinese companies to buy up all of the land around military installations? Again, going back to, can we really survive as a we the people in another 4 years of this crap? Can we? I don't know. I mean, my money's on us. It always has been, but I'm not going to have any money anyway to put down on us if we just allow China to buy up all the land around our military installations. That is as shady as can be, but it's being allowed. And we're just gonna we have to deal with it. We just do. So it's just weird that BlackRock got to buy that kind of that. But they have assured you in a statement, by the way, just so we're very clear, in a statement, BlackRock said that they have no plans of using anyone's DNA or any of the information that they can get from that. And if, by the way, if you have gone to 23andMe, if you have gone to ancestry.com, open up the link. And you can actually shut down their ability to use your info for something else. Of course, they're going to, because they're going to put, there was a data breach. It's crazy. I still haven't done the facial recognition thing on my phone. I haven't done it. I just, for some reason, it's creepy to me. I haven't done it. I still do the password thing. I didn't even not even the thumbprint. I just do a password. But they have everything on me. So it's like, well, whatever. They got it all on me anyway. So what are we going to do? All right. Hey, again, thank you for hanging. We do have a decompression session coming up, which is a lot of fun. Kind of reminds me of Mario Kart. It's a good time. Going back to this Elon and Trump call again. We try to stick away from just the normal stuff that people are talking about Trump, about Kamala. Try to keep it, do some flyover, like we call them, the flyover stories. What CNN did to the Musk-Trump interview was disgusting. It was as disgusting as what they did with his good people on both sides press conference. And when you have the lame duck on Pennsylvania Avenue doing an interview saying that the Klan doesn't have to hide anymore under Donald Trump because veins bulging. They came out of he encouraged them. And it's a bunch of crap. Because if you actually if you watch the entirety, and I should be able to post that, Trump press conference where he said there were good people on both sides. He was simply talking about there's good people that petitioned for a permit, applied for a permit to protect the statue. And there were people that applied for a permit to take down the statue. He said there's good people on both sides. Doesn't. And by the way, in that speech, he said, I disavow white nationalism in all its forms. And yet CNN said, Donald Trump has never disavowed white socialism. White nationalism, excuse me. White socialism. It's like Democrat socialism. Oh, isn't that cute? Let's play this here. Here you go.
I want to play one exchange that was kind of classic. Well, there were a lot of exchanges that were classic Donald Trump, but this
classic Trump. That's the greatest part. It should be a CNN segment. Okay. Classic Trump. Yeah.
One really stuck out to us.
And Nagasaki were bombed, but now they're like full cities again. So
right,
it's really not
That's
something
right.
that,
That's right.
so it's not as scary as people think, basically.
Okay. How was that? You pull that apart. You're like, did he just say that the nuclear power plants and bombs and stuff, everybody's okay, and that's okay? Is that what he said?
So that was more Elon Musk than Donald Trump.
She's very disappointed about that, by the way.
Talking about, sort of suggesting what happened almost 80 years ago. I think 80 years ago next year, the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Now it's okay.
Okay. That is the most dishonest journalism that I've seen from CNN. And I'm telling you, I've seen a lot of dishonest journalism from CNN. That is absolute BS. That is absolute nonsense. If you actually play the clip in its entirety, and by the way, it is boring as all. It is like the cure for insomnia, how boring Elon is during that. What he's talking about is that nuclear power is the future. And they actually talked about rebranding nuclear as something else because nuclear is a bad word. And they said that he said that he went to maybe Chernobyl or something like that and ate vegetables that were grown out of the ground to show that it's safe now. So their discussion was nuclear power was thought to be so very dangerous when it is not as dangerous as they thought because those two instances that they mentioned, that they're now thriving cities again. It didn't lay waste to them permanently. They weren't suggesting that, laying waste to an entire city was nuclear. But get we call something different. It's called alternative energy. That's what you should call it, green energy. If you call nuclear green energy, open the floodgates because people are down with it. Yeah, talked about the no tax tip as opposed to because they Rhonda, they're actually changing. Almost said something pretty bad there. They're changing headlines to make it look pro Kamala. And actually, they talked about it in the Elon conversation as well. Like, can you imagine now? I was talking about tips. By the way, in a similar bill that would have made taxing tips, just done away with taxing tips, Kamala was the deciding vote 2 years ago. Let's not let people forget that. If we all have one job as anti-Harrises, that's what we should be. We should actually be talking the right game. Okay. And talking that by the way, now she wants to get rid of tips. Oh, now she's going to close down the border too. Yeah, I'm going to secure the border. Yeah, she's going to make it absolutely legal for everyone to come over. There's no more illegal crossings. Because what they've done is they've started flying everybody in. Okay. I actually have the flight logs. They did. They literally did. A topic I want to talk about tomorrow. So a topic that I want to talk about tomorrow is a bill in California that was shot down because it would cost tens of thousands of dollars to not be able to sell kids for sex. We're going to talk. That's a longer discussion than we actually have time, but I am going to do that. Lynn, that's right. How about rebrand as just energy? Yeah, if you're listening, nuclear, just say energy. Energy is the way to go. Energy is the future. That's right. So that's how it should be. Let's have a decompression session. It's going to be at the end of each and every one of these programs. The decompression session could be video, could be picture, could be something we all meme that we just like, and maybe it's just a sound of a babbling brook. By the way, has anyone been in for an MRI? Have you ever done that? Like on your head? I've had 2 brain surgeries, so I've had to have it done. And it's that sound. Why can't they have a sound that's like it's it's terrible. And for a guy with head injuries like me, it's no fun. Why can't they make it like a babbling brook and like duck sounds and a nice waterfall and something like that? Oh, yeah. All right. Is there a double? Okay, so let's get to this. It's your daily decompression session. If you can put music and sound effects to something, it just becomes funny. And God bless whoever did this, because it's a fantastic example of funny sound effects in just standard funny music set to an Olympic sport that I didn't even know was an Olympic sport. I had no idea. Kayak cross. I'm going to say it again. Kayak cross is Mario Kart on the water. But they didn't send it out. Truman, yes, and MRI was the most miserable experience. Absolutely it was. This is set to funny music. This is Kayak Cross. Here's your daily decompression session. Enjoy. Okay, and right out of the gates, you see these guys launch? Look at this. They're up there in this thing. And then the damn thing just dumps them. Hey, here we go. Yeah, they lost the fourth guy. They don't even know what happened to the fourth guy. Yeah, he's already down. He jumped the ship. But check this out. Come on. I don't even know. It's like slalom and ooh, yeah, you missed that, champ. Champ, you done. Yeah. Don't. You're gonna hit your head. Oh, get your head under it. Look at these guys. Oh, they found a fourth guy. They found the fourth guy. Getting down. They found the fourth guy. Found him from some crap Lakistan or something where there's no rivers. Yep. Hit the pole. How can we take life seriously? How can you take life seriously where there is, in fact, kayak cross? I mean, unbelievable. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kayak. I don't kayak like that. Mm-mm. I got the big Hobie kayaks with the pedal drive, so I can have a beer. I mean, a nice drink and an iced tea in one hand, and I can fish with the other hand. Mm-hmm. See, that's the way to do it. Yeah, the old motocross show. Was there an old motocross show? Oh, that'd be rad. Did you notice that what I saw was what I did see? I'll see you on Friday. And Grizz, by the way, tell Robbie, give Robbie a big hug to give him our love and tell him we're proud of him and go man go. So he's Grizz is heading over to downtown Phoenix for a speaking event by Robert Hunter. So I almost said his middle name. I don't know if he's down with that, but anyway. So Rob Hunter is doing that down there. So he's going to be doing that. And we just let Robbie know we love him and we miss him and we're wishing the best for him. I forgot what the hell I was going to say, so let's do this. Let's wrap it up and do this again tomorrow, right here at noon in other news. And we're working on the logo, so it's gonna be what it is. So hope to see you here tomorrow, right here on in other news. Have a great afternoon, everybody. Thanks for playing along. Like it, share it. Let's build it. Let's go.